I welcome you all to the next lecture of HTML basic coding. Although we will also discuss advanced level topics, but we will start from the scratch. So that's why I am saying that it's a basic level of course. In our previous lecture, we have discussed some forms creation in HTML. Although it was really a basic level, but in order to make an advanced or beautiful forms, for this we really need other languages such as CSS3, jQuery, JavaScript, and Bootstrap as well. So when we learn those courses, then we would become able to make some advanced forms. Although we can also make it in HTML, but it would really require a lengthy code. So this would be covered in Bootstrap and CSS3 in detail. We will build an advanced level of forms in that. But today our lecture is about HTML medias. What is HTML medias? How to embed certain medias in your HTML page such as video, audio, object, embed, iframe. So those are some medias that we want to embed. Although this is not the platform to embed medias because we do not usually display such media on our web page. In most cases, they are basically required on different platforms. If we talk about video, then it is shown on certain YouTube or other media platforms. So, but we will just go on through the idea that how we can do it through coding and embed our media. So our first tag is about video. How we can embed video? In that case, we will use a tag video and then close it as well. Starting video tag and then the closing video tag. It would enable us to embed any video. I will give some ID to it, for example, my video, and let me give it some width, some default width, for example, 500. So this has enabled us to create or embed our video. Then it have another property by the name of source. What is the source of our video? So I have one video on my desktop by the name of people, and it is in the format of MP4. And what's the type of video? So of course that the type is video slash MP4. So let me repeat it that I have created a video tag because I want to embed a video. Then I have used the source, that what would be the source of my video. So I have this video desktop. So you can see that this is the video with the extension .mp4. So and the type I have given video slash mp4 because this is in the format of mp4. If your video is in the format of avi or wmv, then change it to that extension. So it depends on what video you have. So now in that case, if I launch it in my Google Chrome, then you will see that we have embedded the video, but this is not working because it do not have any controls such as play, pause, enlarge, minimize, maximize. So in order to create such controls, we need to use one another tag by the name, we need to use another property by the name of controls. It would be added to the video tag. Now if I refresh it, so you can see that we can now play it, we can now pause it, we can enlarge it, we can then play it and then pause it. This is basically a video from pixel side, so it is a silent video. In that case it would basically not play any sound. So this was about video. Now I just want to create manual controls. If for example I want to create manual controls, how I will do it? Like I want to do all these things manually, control things, play, pause, enlarge, small. For this I need to create button, and for example button type is equal to button, and on the click of button I want to do something. So this is one button, and for instance I want to create one button for play and pause, next for large size, next for smaller size, and the last one for default size. So for this I want to do play pause. Here I want to do large, and here I want to give small, and here I want to give default video. Remember that we cannot use default as our calling function because it is a default tag, so we cannot use it. So now what am I doing? So let me tell you this thing, that what am I doing? I am basically creating buttons in order to do this control manually. So let us see it. Now let us give some value to our buttons. For instance this would be about play or pause, and the next would be about make large, and the third would be about make small, and the last one would be about make to default. When I refresh it, so you can see it that we have created 4 buttons in HTML. Let me give it one line break so you will see it more clearly. So you can see that we have created buttons. Now I want to do those controls in JavaScript. Although this course is not about JavaScript, we are just in HTML, but I'm just giving you an overview that how we can manually create those controls with HTML and JavaScript. So I'm just giving you a little touch about JavaScript. And let's say that I'm creating function for this, and this. What is this open and closing parenthesis? This is basically a function. This is function, this is function, this is function, this is function. So and when I write parentheses with it, so I'm calling it, or I am saying that by calling I mean that do this work. What is inside this function, so do this it. What is inside this play and pause function, do that. For example, let me create script tag. We will actually in depth study all the things about JavaScript in JavaScript course, but for now you just have to keep in mind that we can create JavaScript with open and closing script tag. So for instance our first function is play pause. So this is a function, and we want to do something inside it. Our next function is large, and we also want to do something inside it. Our third function is small, and the last one is default v. So now when someone click on this button, this play or pause button, I want to do something. What I want to do, on the click of it, I want to call this function or run this function, you can say. So it will come the control to here, and here I want to say to it that if, but if before it we want to get our ID. How we will do it? But before it we want to get the ID of our video. So how we will do it? In JavaScript we say that document dot get element by ID. What was the ID of my video? So it was basically this ID. I am taking this ID of the video because I want to use this video, and I will assign it to a variable. For example, my, or you can say that video 1. So this is our video. Now we will use this variable. It would be easy for us. We have basically get the element from HTML which is having this ID and assign it to a variable of JavaScript with this name video 1. We will in detail discuss what is document.getElementById in JavaScript. So for now, just have to bear with me and keep in mind that how we can get the element in from HTML in JavaScript. So if I say that if video 1 if video 1 dot post, if my video 1 is paused, then in that case what I want to do, if it is paused, then please play it, else paused it. So what does it mean? For example, this video is paused and I want to play it. So if it is paused and the controls say that it is paused, so if it is paused, then it will become played when I click on it, and if it is played, then it would become paused when I click on the button. In the large, I want to say that make my video width to 1000. So from 500 pixels it would become 1000 pixels. And in the smaller, I want to say that make my video smaller, 250 pixels, 250 pixels, and then in the default make it to 500. These are our controls, but now it will not work because we need an updated version of Google Chrome, and another reason is that we want to in-depthly cover the JavaScript, then we would become able to know these things in more detail. Keep it in mind and we will discuss them later. Our next tag is audio. How we can embed audio element? So it is through audio tag. And what is the source? For example, I have one MP3 file by the name of free music, and it has MP3 version and it has MP3 extension. So free music.mp3, and you can say that type is equal to, because it is an audio type, and we would say that it is having an MP3 format. You can also introduce controls, but remember that there are some browsers who support audio controls, there are some browsers who do not. We just get to know the idea that how we can embed it. So as you can see that our audio has been embedded. So let me run it. So as you can hear the voice that how we can embed our audio file. You can also mute it. You can also mute it, then unmute, and then pause it. So this was about our audio tag. We have another tag element by the name of object. What object tag do? We can embed outer data through object tag. For example, we can bring a large amount of data through object tag to our HTML web page. If for example I have another page and I want to have some data, let me take some data. If we have large amount of data, and we can say that another .html, and we want to embed it to our main page. In that case, how we will do it? We will use object tag, and object tag don't have the source because it contains the data, so we will use data property. So now as you can see that we have basically embedded a data through our object tag. After it we have another tag by the name of embed. But embed tag is basically used in order to embed different sources such as picture. If for instance I want to embed a specific picture, then I will say that it is having a source, embed source. Remember that embed tag don't have a closing tag. So how we will bring a picture through our embed tag? So let me see any picture so that I will show it to you. For example, let me take this picture, and it has JPEG format. So as you can see that our image has been embedded through embed tag. We can set its width and height as well. For example, I want to give the width. For example, I want to give the width to 400 pixels and height also to 400 pixels. So this is our image that we have embedded through the embed tag. Our last tag that we will discuss is iframe. Previously we have also used iframe, but today I will tell you another purpose of using iframes. Iframe also work on the property source. Through iframe I can embed any kind of YouTube video to my web page. For example, let me take any video from YouTube. I am just trying to take any shorter video. If for instance I play it and take its URL and embed it, let us run it. But here you can see that our YouTube video is not working on our HTML web page. I have old version of browser, but this was the way of including your YouTube video through iframe source. Hope guys that you like this lecture, and in next lecture we will discuss some more advanced topics about HTML. In the last of this series, after 7 or 8 videos, we will basically implement a full-fledged project which would be about 1.5 hours. So we will practically implement a full website for you. So stay tuned and take care. Bye for now.